The World Healing Tour movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world. Hello, and welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast, where our mission is to help you heal yourself so you can heal the world. Hi, my name is Noah Crane. Each week, we will bring you tips and tools and inspire you to live your most empowered and joyful life. I'm also the author of the book, The Grass is Greenest Where I Am, because the grass is greenest where you are if you just say so. When you choose to live in a place of no comparison, no competition, and no scarcity, when you choose to live in your own love and light and share your unique gifts with the world, because we're all unique. And that's why it's called World Healing Tour, because when we heal ourselves, we truly create a ripple effect in the world for others to follow and heal as well. Each week, I bring incredible people into studio to pour into you and support you on your journey, because the truth is, we all need each other, right? My guest today is Juli Edwards. She's a holistic beauty operator since 1985, specializing in precision cuts, organic henna hair color services, anti-aging facials, using 100% natural, organic, vegan products. She's also a Reiki practitioner since 1995 and a Feng Shui consultant since 2009. She's the creator of the award-winning crackers, which are like named top superfood in 2023. And more recently, the vegan love burger. Those are so yummy, you guys. With decades of experience in plant-based living, natural beauty, and energy healing, Juli helps others embrace a healthier and more vibrant lifestyle. Her work combines wellness, beauty, holistic practices to support a balanced vitality and conscious living. Juli Edwards, welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast. I'm so excited that we're going to have this amazing conversation today.
Noah, thank you so much. I am so pleased to be here, and you've been a bright star in my life. I think we've known each other about 10 years or so, and every time I think of you, I smile. So when you told me that you had an opening today, I couldn't believe it. I was like in tears. I was just so excited, and what can I say? I'm really happy to be here, so thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Juli. And, I feel the same way about you. I love what you're doing in the world. Like, it's huge. I mean, you started with hair color, moved to skincare, moved to Feng Shui and Reiki, moved to food, And when I think about you, I really think like this is the Amazon of a healthy way of living, And it's incredible. It's just amazing. And when we spoke last night, you said through the darkness, you were able to find the light through our darkness. Let's talk a little bit, take us back into the darkness that you experienced that brought you to where you are today.
Okay. So back in 1985 is when I went to beauty school, and that was traditional, nothing holistic about that. So I learned all those techniques and products, and got, working in the field within 2 years, and I was getting all kinds of issues. I was getting skin issues from the products I was using, and I was even using gloves and everything, but, I was sensitive. And then as a few years went by, I did find some more natural products to use. This is back in the early 90s. So, but anyway, some time went by, and then I started having lung issues. And that was from all the fragrance and other chemicals that I was being exposed to every day. And I continued.
How did that affect your life? Getting, here you are, you're experiencing all these kind of symptoms. How was that affecting you on a day-to-day basis, working in this field?
Yeah, it was not easy. And that's really how I discovered Reiki, because I went to get some healing. One of my clients said, hey, I do Reiki. And I'm like, what's that? This is in 1993, I think. And I had been in a bad car accident, which really triggered everything. I think that's, when I say, like, you go into your darkness, that was truly my darkness. I mean, it was almost a year of, like, laying on the floor, not being able to move very much from that accident. And it
So
it
with
really
the accident,
forced me.
happened before beauty school?
No, it was after.
Was after beauty school?
Yeah, that was after. And I'm not saying that was related to my issues with the fragrance and things, but it was kind of like the last straw. Like, you better change. Something's got to change
It
here.
was an awakening.
It was an awakening, yeah. And it was a hard time, but I got through it. And through that time was how I found that Reiki person. And she was like, yeah, just, let's do it. I'm going to help you with this. And she sure did.
So Reiki, let's talk about Reiki a little bit. It's energy healing, right?
Correct.
So she was doing energy healing on you,
Mm-hmm.
and through her energy healing, you healed.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 100%,
Mm-hmm.
but it got me on the road to a healthier lifestyle. It opened doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
I met more people in the holistic community. And at that time I was in Cocoa Beach. And so, it was a small community there, but it was great, to meet those people and to really start. But, it's like an onion. You take one layer off at a time. So, I was still using fragrance. I was still using things that have fumes and things like that. So, as the years went by, I realized that I had to stop, and so.
How did you realize that you were allergic to all these different fragrances and things? Was it through the chemicals, or was it other things that you were putting on your skin that made you realize that?
I mean, it was both. It started out with my skin, and then moved into, getting headaches and shortness of breath and things like that. So,
So
yes,
you were suffering.
I was suffering, yeah.
Mhm.
And, sometimes you just continue suffering through life. You just keep going because, I didn't know what else to do. I had to continue making money, pay my bills, just kept moving forward and
So we don't think
searching.
we really have other options. So we just kind of like suffer through it, or we don't want to put the integrity in to try to change things. We just kind of go through the motions. But you were at such a low point that you're like, I have to do something about this.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, definitely. So, I don't remember what year it was, but I found this product line called Sheer Miracle Organics, after searching and searching and searching. And this product is 100% natural, organic, and vegan. And I still use it. That was probably 15 years ago or so. So that's primarily what I use in my life, and I recommend for my clients, and I have it on my website. And that's a whole line. They have skincare, makeup, hair care, everything. So that was really, really wonderful once I found that product line and was able to continue in my industry of doing hair. Because, I've been doing this a long, long time, and I'm good at it. So I didn't want to give it up just because, I was getting headaches from products. So that was a lifesaver. And then I found a hair color that was fragrance free. And then eventually I moved into doing henna. And henna is really the best way to go because it's 100% natural. It's just plants, the product that I use, and it's organic too. So, the other hair color brands out there, even those big names, those ones that are considered organic, they still have a lot of chemicals in them, So, I was using some of that, but I really prefer the henna. If somebody can take the henna, it's not for everybody, but actually some people could be allergic to it, just like anything. But the majority of people can use it, so it's nice that option's available.
So you still use henna to date
Oh
on your
yeah,
clients.
oh yeah,
Now, when you use henna, is it like, let's say you have gray hair, like you can come in on a monthly basis and get it covered with the henna,
absolutely.
and you can get like your hair color right now, is that henna?
Yes.
So it looks just like regular hair color.
Yep.
You would never know the difference.
There's many shades that I can create because henna is one plant, but there's a lot of other herbs that I mix with the henna to create different shades. And sometimes it takes two processes. Like for your hair, it would take two processes because your hair is dark. And, to cover the gray, sometimes it takes a little longer than traditional hair color because that's the beauty of chemicals, is that it's fast. Henna is not fast. But because I ferment it and I know how to properly apply it, it doesn't take as long as like 3 hours like some people would think. Because, if you go online, you'll see that, oh yeah, you got to leave it on like 3 hours. That's not true. But it does take a little longer usually than regular hair color.
That's great. So you found the henna, you started using henna, and that started, kind of shifting how you feel. But did it change everything for you, or was there more to uncover?
Well, of course, there was more to uncover. As I mentioned, the onion, every layer comes off slowly, and if it's done properly, you don't want to like just cut into that onion and, anyway. So, yeah, food. I mean, food has been huge. I went vegan about 8 years, a little more than 8 years ago. Prior to that, I was,
What made you want to go vegan?
well, health, to improve my health, but also for the animals. I was kind of feeling bad
Mm-hmm.
about eating eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one time I was getting a massage with this woman up in Pennsylvania. And my friend went with me because I was visiting her in Pennsylvania. And she was waiting because this woman also had a chicken coop. Very strange combo, a massage therapist and a chicken coop. But so she sold her eggs. Well, after I was done with the massage, I was laying on the table. You know how you wait and just kind of chill for a few minutes before you get off the table. And all of a sudden, I heard all this squawking. Well, she was stealing the eggs from those mamas, you know? And it kind of like destroyed my energy of that beautiful massage that I had just had. And I was like, wow.
So the moms are really upset when you take the eggs away from them.
Yeah.
Nobody ever thinks about that.
Nobody thinks about that.
Wow, that's amazing. So
Yeah.
you actually experienced the pain and suffering of those, chickens when the eggs were taken away from
Yeah.
them.
The hens are, I mean, they're mamas just like we are, and they love their babies. They're just eggs at that time, but they're sitting on them all day because they know they're going to become a baby for them,
Wow.
and to carry their genetics. So yeah, it really affected me, and so that was kind of the
It was an
draw.
eye opener.
That was an eye opener, and that was like, okay, I should just give those up. I don't need to eat eggs, And I was still eating fish at that time, and the whole big thing about the mercury in the fish and all that. So I gave up tuna, and then I was giving up different things for health. But then I was like, wait a minute, they're really tortured in those nets that they cast them, and even the fishing lines, the hook. I mean, it's not pleasant for them. They have feelings too. They have a nervous system, and
So I just hear like a lot of like consciousness and compassion towards other living things, which I think so many of us lack because we're not there seeing the everyday things that they're going through. It just comes on our plate, or you find it at the supermarket. You're not really thinking, how did it get there? And so you dug a little deeper, researched more, and realized that this is not what you want to do.
yeah, it's not necessary. I mean, there's alternatives. It's just not necessary. Like Aki is an amazing. You can make an amazing egg scramble with Aki.
What is Aki?
Aki is a umami fruit. It's like a savory fruit that grows I think you can grow them in Florida, but they're primarily from Africa, and they're in Jamaica. It's very popular in Jamaica. I think it's their signature fruit there. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, there's always an option. You just have to search for it. We don't need to eat meat and eggs and fish. We don't need to. And so yeah.
But we're such a minority of people that are choosing not to eat those things because most people are raised in a home where they grew up on this kind of food. They think it's their source of protein, and they think that they look at us or they look at you and they're like, that's crazy. Like I would never. So I just think it's also through your health journey that you realized more and more, and you got more compassionate as you realized that compassion for yourself as well as compassion for other living things. Would you say that's kind of connected?
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I was experiencing IBS too, irritable bowel syndrome. So that was an interesting part of my life, trying to deal with that. Because when you switch to an all vegan diet, these kind of things can happen. Your body can start to react, and it's not the products; it's your body flushing out all those old toxins that are in there. So it's been a journey, but I'm definitely getting healthier, and I feel strong, and I feel energetic, and I feel happy to not be eating animals and flesh, and as they say, dead corpse.
Yeah, it makes you feel good about what you're doing with your life, and and you're not. And so, stopping to eat, was it hard at all for you to stop eating meat and to stop giving up those things?
I'm going to tell you, my husband, who I've been with about 15 years, was vegan. He's been vegan for like 35 years. So he inspired me without any pressure. He never pressured me. We had an agreement early on that I would never cook fish in the house because he couldn't stand the smell of it, or eggs. I broke the rule and had the eggs, and he was okay with that. But I never cooked fish around him. Once we lived together, and so I was only eating fish like when I was eating out, which wasn't that often anyway. But at any rate, he was my inspiration, and also really the sheer miracle products, because here I am selling vegan products and I'm not doing a vegan lifestyle, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, I need to come up, I need to improve. So it was like a combination of things that inspired me. But it was, to answer your question, it was some way hard and some way easy, because I had his support and his, encouragement, but I really loved fish. I will tell you, and I loved eggs. So it was hard. But you know what I found was taking minerals really helped, because I think we crave those minerals that those things have.
So let's talk about minerals. What kind of minerals would you recommend people take?
Well, for one, in fish, there's lysine. That's a big one, because that's one of the problems with the skin issues that I was having, was the lysine was helping. So the fish, eating fish was helping that issue. So I just supplement, it's a vegan supplement. So it's easy. You just take a supplement if you need it. But I was just taking like a multi-mineral also, like, has all your iron and can't think of it, calcium and all those, just like a liquid. But now I think my diet is so healthy, I don't really need to supplement, and I'm not craving the fish and the eggs anymore. The first like 2 years were tough, with the cravings, but the minerals, like I said, did help some of the cravings, and so.
So it's nice that you had the support of your husband.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't have that kind of support. A lot of people try to do it on their own and their whole family thinks they're crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And there's not that kind of support. But you had somebody who was, always there to support you through that thing.
Yes.
So that's huge. Now, let me ask you a question. It's going to be controversial, you guys. But do you think that we're meant to be vegan?
I do think so. Yeah. In fact, I think that fruit in particular is very, very important. I don't sell a fruit product other than one of my crackers. Two of the crackers have lemon in them, actually lemon rind, with the pith, by the way, for all that benefit. But because fruit, you should just buy it fresh and just eat it as it comes in what's in season. I do think it's very, very important, especially like in the earlier part of the day, to energize you and also hydrate the body.
But why are fruits so good for us? And I know they're really good, but they don't have protein. So people will be like, by Julie, it doesn't have protein.
It does have some protein. Fruit actually does have some, not a lot, not like a steak, but it does have some protein, but it is full of minerals. That's what made me think of it, because we were talking about minerals. But it also hydrates. Fruits actually hydrate the body better than water. So that's why watermelon is so good for us. And, all your citrus, apples, they're really, really important.
How about grapes?
Definitely.
I love grapes. I literally crave those green grapes.
Yes.
Organic, of course.
And the thing about fruit is, I'm learning this more and more. I've read a book about it, but is that, to eat them by themselves. Don't mix your fats and your proteins, like nuts and seeds and things like that, with your fruit, because then it slows down the production and your absorption of those minerals. Fruit actually digests in like 20 to 30 minutes, where proteins and fats take 12 to 24 hours to digest. So if you eat fruit on top of fats and proteins, the fruits are going to ferment, and you're not going to get the benefits of the fruit. But if you eat fruit by itself on an empty stomach, like first thing in the morning, you're going to get all those benefits, the hydration, all those minerals are going to get absorbed quickly, and you're going to have a nice bowel movement too, because you digest very quickly.
Yeah, no, I love fruit. So, but bodybuilders, for example, or people that want to build muscle, they say you need to have your body weight in protein every day, you know? And I know that's where it gets more complicated because there are vegan bodybuilders, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So they do a lot of like other stuff, like they'll do lentils and beans, they'll do protein shakes, you know, pea protein. There's all kinds of things out there. But they do say that, you know, for the more, you know, most people would be like, oh, you know, I need my meat. Or there's people that literally do meat diets to lose weight, meat and fat. You've seen that,
Yes, of
right?
course, yeah.
I mean, they'll just eat meat and fat and they'll lose a ton of weight on that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy for them, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, who knows what their gut is going to look like in 20 years after that, and their heart, right? Their vascular system, and the lymphatic system, because you know a lot of fat clogs the lymphatic system, and that's why fruit is also very good because it helps to clean the lymphatic system.
Yeah, no, I love fruit. Let's talk about your love burgers.
Yes,
Because I love the fact that, you know, you started with the hair products, you know, you went into the, you know, feng shui and Reiki and all that, which is all important. It's all healing modalities. So everything that you're doing is around healing. And then it took you path towards food. And the most recent is the Love Burger, which is incredible. And we keep buying it from you guys, right? My husband and I love it. And you have a kitchen set up, and right now you're just selling it out of the kitchen. What's the big dream with the Love Burger? I always wanted to ask you.
well, of course, I want to get it into Whole Foods or the big box stores. It's a huge investment, so it's down the road. Probably another year or so, maybe a little longer.
So how would the Love Burger be in Whole Foods? Will it be a ready-to-eat burger, or would it be like frozen?
Probably
Like
a
ready?
frozen
I
patty.
like that. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be great.
Because you know, when I go to Whole Foods, I always check to see if there's any new vegan burgers. There's not one in there that agrees with me because I don't do any seed oils. So they all have seed oils in them. I don't do oatmeal either. That kind of doesn't agree with me. So a lot of them have oatmeal. I do eat some beans, but not a lot. And so that's the other thing so my burger has none of that in it.
So what is it made of? What is it made
So
of?
the main ingredient is drum roll.
Drum roll.
Sorghum grains. Sorghum grains are one of the healthiest grains you can eat. And it's not a popular grain in the United States, but it's very popular in other countries. I think Africa it's very popular in Europe.
It's gluten-free, right?
Of course. Yeah, everything I do is gluten-free and vegan and organic. So yeah, that's the main. There's also hazelnuts in it and some almonds. So those two things are pretty good sources of protein. I think there's some protein in the sorghum grains. I can't remember exactly how much, but you know the nuts are good to give that protein. So that's why I didn't want to put beans in it. I had tried many recipes using lentils and other beans, and you know everybody's done a bean burger that's vegan. I'm sure most people have tried that, but this is different because the sorghum grains have very similar texture to meat in the patty form. Don't you find when you eat it, it kind of looks like a burger, like a regular beef burger? Ugh. But, which by the way, when I was still eating red meat, like back in the early 90s, I think I got off of red meat in 94. That was my favorite food was burgers. So I had been working on the burger recipe for many years, trying to, you know, because once I gave that up, I'm like, I got to make a burger, you know. I've always liked to cook. It's been like kind of a creative thing, creative outlet. So, yeah. But I don't know. I was meditating one day and I was like, sorghum grains. Huh. Okay. I'll try it. And so I mixed it up and I'm like, wow, this is pretty good. I had kind of, my first recipe, I was putting like Indian flavors in there because I love Indian food. So I was putting like Indian spices in it. But one of my clients who was trying all my food, she's like, no, you got to take the Indian stuff out of there. And so I did. And that's pretty much the same recipe that I'm using now.
That's cool that you get to perfect it and letting other people taste it and give you back their feedback on it. But what's really cool is the way, not just the burger, but also the way the bread is that you give us with it, right? Like I don't usually go and eat bread, but this bread is different.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's in this bread. Like, can you like make the burgers like frozen so people can already have it with the bread and all that, or is that not something that you're thinking about?
I don't know. I guess I'd have to figure that one out. It has crossed my mind
Mm-hmm.
that it could be like a little kit or something, with
Mm-hmm.
like a little packet of cheese
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
package of ketchup and it could
Mm-hmm.
be. So yeah, maybe we'll think about that. But right now you can buy them frozen, and then I'm doing pop-up events where it's a full burger that's made.
Do you ship out to places the burgers? Like, if you
Yes.
live in another state and you want your burgers, you'll ship them out?
Yes, in the summer months, it's a little difficult because of the dry ice.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from Florida, it's I've tried to ship it to California and it just didn't work. But on the East Coast, I think it's fine, and maybe like in the colder months, it could go to all the way to California. Right now, that's the only areas, the 48 states. So yeah. But to talk about the bun, yes, the bun is amazing. And it took a while to get that recipe down also. And it is grain free. It's not just gluten free, it's actually grain free.
I love that.
Yeah,
That is great.
thank you. So it has the main ingredient is plantains
Mhm.
and coconut flour and tiger nut flour. A tiger nut flour is a tuber,
Mhm.
so it's kind of like potatoes. So yeah.
Well, it's cool that because when you eat it, it doesn't have the heaviness of the bread. It's very light. I love the way it tastes.
Thank you.
It's really cool. And just the way you flavor the whole burger. Like, that's the only burger that I'll eat a burger with a bun.
Mm,
Like, I won't do that. Like, I'll say no bun, right?
right.
But
Exactly. Me
but when I
too.
eat your
But
burger,
mine.
like, I want to eat the bun and I want to have the burger and actually buy a little more so I have one for the next day because it's really good. I look forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Aw, well, thank you
It's
so
really
much. I'm
good.
glad you like it.
Yeah,
And
it's
so far, everybody that has eaten it really loves them.
mhm.
So, and I haven't had anybody say that they had like an allergic reaction or anything like that. The burger has no oil in it.
Mhm.
The bun, by the way, does have some olive oil in it. It's kind of impossible to not have the oil in the
Mhm.
bun because it's grain free. But it's not a lot, and it's olive oil. It's the least of the evils, I think, when it comes to the oils. So
Let's talk about the condition that you have. You have a certain condition.
mm.
What is it called?
MCS, it's multiple
MCS.
chemical sensitivity. Yeah. So apparently, about 30% of the population in the United States actually has this,
Mhm.
and most people don't know it. They go around with headaches. I got a migraine. I don't know how I got it. So that was kind of happening to me too back in the day, and I finally realized what it was. It was all the chemicals that I was being exposed to, and fragrance. Fragrance is probably the worst. But like for example, Tide laundry soap has 13 different chemicals in it that are really cancer causing. So
Wow.
yeah, 13.
That's crazy, you guys. Did you hear that?
Yeah. And
Wow.
and they use a baby
And
in
how
their
many people,
advertising.
everybody uses it. Like, everybody uses it, you
Not
know?
my family, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
well, not me either, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like, it was the
it's
thing
so
before
popular.
seventh generation and all these other things came out. Like, that was Tide was it, you know?
Yeah. And it's like a little bit cheaper than everybody else's. So like my mother-in-law still uses it. She's like, "Well, it's cheaper." And then I get the coupon. Please, you're going to pay for it later,
Mm-hmm.
okay? You're going to pay for it in your health later
Mm-hmm.
using that stuff. So yeah, that's and Tide isn't the only one that one just has the most harsh chemicals. And they're advertising it like it's so innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
And let's talk about marketing. We talked about that. People say, "Oh, this is healthy for you. This is full of fiber." Whatever it is that they say to sell a product. How misleading is that, would you say?
Oh, it's very misleading. Always check that back label for the ingredients, especially your food products for sure, because you're going in your body. But also, everything you put on your skin goes into your bloodstream. So it gets absorbed in. So don't think just because you're using a chemical moisturizer or hand lotion that it's not going into your body. It is going in. So yeah, definitely check your labels because the front label, they're gonna try to sell you and get you hooked, and whatever the issue is that you have, dry hair, oily hair, whatever it is, they're going to try to sell you and say that it's a natural product, and
It'll make your hair shiny
yeah,
and healthy again.
all that stuff.
And you have it's just words, you guys. It's words. It's not the truth. You're being lied to every day with labels, and if you're not reading it, if you're not doing your own research, if you're not looking at the back label and reading what's in every product, you're gonna be misled.
Yep, yeah, it's unfortunate, but um, fortunately, there are label ingredients.
Mhm.
Because there was a time where that wasn't available, and now that's kind of required. So, you know, for example, hair products, shampoos and conditioners have it. Most brands, not the ones I use, of course, but most brands have at least 3 different kinds of silicone in them. Now, silicone is like a liquid plastic. So you're just coating your hair with plastic. So then they have all these other ingredients in there that are like healthy, vitamins and protein and things like that. But there's no way it gets absorbed into the hair or even the scalp because of those chemicals, those plastics that are there. It's kind of like putting polyurethane on your furniture. Nothing gets in once you put polyurethane on your furniture, right? So it's the same thing with hair. And the only way to remove it is using, actually, I use baking soda to get it off the hair. When my clients come in and their hair, I can tell their hair is like coated with plastic because, when your hair is natural and it's not coated, it looks very different. So anyway, that's, I use that Bob's Red Mill baking soda and it works great. It gets it off. And then
How do you use that? Do you add water to it or something?
just mix it with the shampoo.
Oh,
The
okay.
Share Miracle shampoo, and yeah, and then you don't want to do this all the time because it's a bit harsh, but it at least can get that coating off, and it doesn't always get like all of it because some people use a lot of products, but
Why is it, and this brings me to another thing, that we are such a processed food, like chemical society? Like seriously, when you go even into like a store, everything is processed. So many things are packaged. There's dyes in food that are not even allowed in other countries. You can't even put all these dyes in. And like here, like they can like kill us with all this stuff, and
yeah,
it just doesn't make any sense to me that
yeah.
it's even allowed. Like why would somebody want to make a product with chemicals in it that can actually harm people?
Gosh, I
Just
wish I
it,
really knew
yeah.
the answer to that. Other than, is there an underlying they want to weaken us? Maybe, I don't know. Um, that's why you have to take charge of your life and your health.
Mm,
You can't depend on somebody else or that label. You have to really research.
mhm.
But yeah, I wish it wasn't like that here. But our country is about freedom, and other countries, everything's highly regulated. So I kind of like the freedom. It's just now you have to really do all your research. You can't
Yeah.
depend on your government.
Right, and you have to realize that there's so many unconscious people living out there. There's so many people that they do it themselves, so they don't really think about what it's going to do to you because this is what they've done for years. So they're not doing their own research on things. They're not bettering themselves. So how can they support you and better your life? So that's why, like you said, the responsibility has to be on you because no matter what, if somebody tells you jump off a cliff, are you going to jump off the cliff? No, you're not, because you're going to be smart and you're going to be like, that's not a good idea. I'm going to die. So it's the same thing. Like you have to read it like your life depends on it, right? Because it really does. Because these little chemicals, they build up, they build up, they build up. And before you know it, there's cancer and all kinds of diseases that we're dealing with. The stomach issues, headaches, all kinds of things, tumors. Like there's so much, right? Whether it's from cell phones, whether it's from food, whether it's from chemicals, whatever it is, we have tons of things that we need to be more aware and more conscious of. And that's why I think having more awareness and consciousness really can shift us and the things we choose to bring into our lives,
Yeah,
in every area of our lives, right?
absolutely. And I want to tell you too that even some of the natural products on the market that are marketing to you, that they're natural and they're holistic and they're healthy, you got to really research. Like, I don't mean to slam products, but like the Mrs. Meyer's hand soap, It's not healthy,
Mm-hmm.
people. I mean, I see it in so many like yoga studios, and because they're looking at that marketing on the front label, they're not really reading the ingredients. Very fragranced products. So yeah, really, really research. There's really not that many products out there that are okay for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it a little simpler, you know. I'm not overwhelmed with all the because we have so many choices,
Mm-hmm.
especially in our country, right? I mean, that's like you said, you go into the store and there's just so many. But when you really get healthy, there's really not that many. So you have to, but there are products that are available. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. How about perfumes? Let's go back to
Yeah.
perfumes. I know, but people go and they spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on perfumes and
Mm,
smells,
mm.
not even realizing what they're spraying on their body, what they're putting, everything gets absorbed in. Let's talk about the perfume industry and how that is could be toxic for you.
Oh, it's very toxic. You know, back 100 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
perfume was really like an oil, like an essential oil.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, once the synthetic came into the industries, they started adding alcohol and all kinds of chemicals to the beautiful scents, from the plants. And it really stabilized those ingredients because I don't know if you know, but when you use an essential oil, it dissipates quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice for a few minutes and then it goes away. And that is a sad thing, but that's just the way it is with essential oils. And in some ways, it's beautiful that it goes away. But an artificial scent never goes away. Sometimes. So, and they make it that way. In fact, there's products that they make. I don't know what the names of the chemicals are, but they add chemicals to them so that when it comes in contact with water, that it like revives the scent. So that's in laundry soap. That's one of the ingredients in the Tide and some other laundry soaps. Um, that so like if you sweat or if you get caught in the rain, oh, you smell so good again. Smell like Tide. So yeah, and it's in deodorants too. Some of that chemical. So and people are putting that in their armpits. These
Mhm.
chemicals, like that's the worst place to put a chemical is in your armpit.
Right. So we really should go more towards essential oils
Yes.
and more natural things
Yes.
that will, keep us safe from these chemicals.
Yes. And not all essential oils are good, so you got to research there too. Unfortunately, they do, cheaper versions and add alcohol and other chemicals to them. So you do really have to research how things are processed, and it takes time to be healthy, and
It's a commitment.
it is a commitment
It's a
and it's a
commitment to
lifestyle.
yourself and your life. All right, let's talk about your award-winning crackers.
Love
Yeah.
crackers.
Yeah,
Love
we all
crackers.
love crackers. So let's talk about how did you come up with this healthy cracker?
So, as we mentioned, I've been in the beauty business since 1985, and I've full time been doing that since 1985. And what, in 2020, they shut us down, right, with the COVID. So, I had my salon actually real close to where we're at right now, right in downtown Boca, and a cute little place. And I had to close it. And I didn't know how long it was going to have to be closed. So I started doing meditating a lot while I was at home. While everybody was panicking, I don't have a television, by the way. I haven't watched television in 14 years. So I wasn't watching any of it. I still have not seen any of that coverage, which is interesting, right? Because I know it was like all over the news and everything. But so I was doing a lot of meditating and just asking spirit, like, what am I supposed to be doing? What is what, like, I'm not doing hair now. So what am I supposed to do? And I kept dreaming. I kept, for some reason, flax seeds, not the crackers, but flax seeds. Flax seeds. I kept having dreams at night about them. And when I was meditating, I was flax seeds. I didn't even use flax seeds. Like, how do I use flax seeds? I don't know. So, yeah, I started Googling it. I'm like, okay, you can make crackers out of them. You can make bread out of them. I don't know if it's bread, but like a cracker thing. And so I was like, well, maybe I'm supposed to make food because I love food.
Mhm.
I love cooking and creating in the kitchen. So I wanted to use my skills, what I have already. So
And you're locked in the house anyways.
right, and I
Might as
was
well do something.
yeah, and I was doing some Reiki for people, and I was doing some feng shui online a little bit, but everybody was very feared and scared, and people were not spending money, so it was a time to reflect and change. So that's what I did. I flowed, and I changed. And then one time I was meditating, like I was like, okay, I need recipes. I need to like just do this quick. I can do this quick. And chocolate kept coming up. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Because most of my clients are women, right? So I'm dealing with a lot of women, and women love chocolate.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is. It's something with the chemical of chocolate.
Hey, men love chocolate too. Okay, my husband is a
Yeah.
chocoholic. Yeah,
Okay.
he's a
Okay.
chocolate man. Yeah.
So that's what came up, and so I created the chunky chocolate love cracker first.
Mm.
That was the first baby, and it's a really tasty cracker. It's only sweetened with dates because I'm totally against sugar, also processed sugar. So yeah, it's sweetened with dates, has walnuts in it, and some pili nuts. Now, pili nuts are an expensive nut that comes from the Philippines. They're wild foraged. And they're very, very tasty. They taste like cream.
Mm.
So you could actually blend pili nuts and add water to them and add it to your coffee if you want, or like anytime you want to use cream, you could use that because it tastes a lot like cream. Anyway, that was the first flavor, and it's been very popular. It's really great frozen. You can eat them right out of the freezer. You can add it to your vegan ice cream. And also when I do some events, sometimes I make a frozen treat where I make the vegan ice cream and put two heart-shaped crackers together. So and a lot of people love those. I haven't launched that product. That's probably something for the future, but it is really, really yummy. It's kind of like an ice cream sandwich. But anyway, and then the clients that I was still seeing loved the chocolate. They loved the crackers, and but they wanted something more savory. So that's how I came up with the lemon. And I decided to make it nut-free for people that have nut allergies and sensitivities. And I am very careful when I'm making them that I don't cross-contaminate. So there's no nuts in the lemon. And the lemon can go sweet or savory. I mean, they're great with like a little bit of jam on them or some nut butter with jam. Or you can put them in your soup, have with salads or guacamole, hummus, whatever you like. So they're just like an all-purpose. If you don't eat bread, you definitely should have the lemon crackers because they're like a bread replacement. You can wherever you would have bread, you can kind of pretty much.
And do you ship your crackers everywhere as well?
Yes, those are nationwide for sure.
I
Yeah.
love that. Award-winning crackers.
Award-winning,
In
yes.
2023.
2023.
Yeah, that's so cool. You had a whole article written about your crackers, right?
They did. They did a full spread. Yes, it was quite exciting, and a little nervous at that time. It was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
That was in a magazine, right?
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember the name of the magazine. It's called Food Review. It's a very popular, well-known magazine amongst the food industry.
Mhm.
Restaurant owners and people read it. So yeah, Food Review. So that was a really exciting back in 23 when we got that, and it's because every single ingredient in all three flavors is medicinal.
Mhm.
Every single ingredient, and there's hemp seeds, there's sesame seeds, there's the raw cacao in there, and in the chocolate one, the lemon has the rind, as I mentioned, the lemon rind, but it also has the pith from the lemon, which is the most important part of the lemon that we all discard and don't use usually. So that's in there. Trying to think what else. Oh, basil seeds are in all three flavors. Basil seeds are really good for the gut. Very similar to, I can't think of the name of that one. Anyway, but it kind of has a gelatinous effect. What's that pudding that everybody eats?
The chia?
Chia, thank you.
Chia seed.
It's similar to a chia seed, the way it behaves. But some people have allergies or sensitivities to chia seeds. I personally can't tolerate them with my gut. So the basil seeds are a great substitute. So they're in the crackers as well. And I have to mention, before that time, Dr. Gundry, and a lot of vegans don't like him, but he really loves my crackers. So he actually endorsed the crackers. So they are lectin-free also, plant paradox compliant. So I had followed that diet for a while, which helped with my gut issues back when I turned vegan. And then I was doing the lectin-free vegan diet. And so, yeah, it was really exciting that he endorsed them beautifully. He was very, very generous in his, he mentions them in a video, and he actually orders them. He loves them. So,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
And how about for those of us that are not gluten free out there? Why is gluten so bad for us?
Well, I think it's really hard on the gut. It's just hard to digest. And a lot of people feel that it's the glyphosate that's in the farming. When they produce the wheat. So some people feel that the wheat that's in Europe is not as bad.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, so I don't know. Personally, I cannot digest wheat even in Europe. I tried when I was there, and it wasn't good for me. So. Who knows? I mean, it might be that was like 8 years ago or 7 years ago or something. Maybe I'm healthier now and I could tolerate it. But there's so many other options. It's just not necessary, especially my buns now.
Yeah, the grain free is great. All right, I want to talk about you're now doing cleaning products and toothpaste. My husband's a holistic dentist, soon to be a biological dentist. So I'm very interested to find out and also to try your toothpaste and your cleaning products. Let's talk about that.
Okay. So many years ago, when I was diagnosed with the MCS, the multiple chemical sensitivity, I started looking at everything that was in my life, everything, every ingredient, and researching everything. And my dentist had been telling me for years that you're brushing too hard, your gums are receding, and you're too young for this. And I'm like,
Hey, my dentist told me that too.
oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you look at your toothpaste, you'll probably see there's like two chemicals, even if the natural toothpaste, okay, the Tom's or whatever, and I can't remember what the other brands are, but most of them have like one or two or maybe three chemicals in them. So I was like, well, make my own. So I started making my own, and again, that tweaking those ingredients.
What's in the toothpaste?
So it's mostly Bob's Red Mill baking soda. It does have a cold pressed and organic sesame oil, and also coconut oil, virgin coconut oil. And
What does it taste like?
there's peppermint in it, and clove, and some frankincense, and some eucalyptus. So it isn't real strong peppermint flavor. It's kind of like a soft blend of those essential oils. And so that I don't know what to say. It tastes a little salty because the baking soda's in there. But
Does it help whiten your teeth at all?
it does help whiten the teeth. But it really helped with my issues with the gums, because after about 6 months of using it strictly by itself, I was worried. Like at first, I'm like, maybe it's not going to work as good, and all this. But then I was like, no, I'm doing it 100%. And after about 6 months of that, I went back, and they're like, wow, what's going on? You're doing something different. Your gums look so much better. You're healed. You're like, there's no blood, like, it's really healing. So I was like, well, guess what? Making my own toothpaste.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I've continued. That was probably, I think it's been about 8 years now that I've been making the toothpaste. And so I was like, well, other people can use it too. So I started making it for clients, and people buy it online too. I sell it in a little glass jar with a little spoon. So it's a little different than your tube.
It's so cute. It's right
Oh,
back
thanks.
there.
You want me to grab it?
Yeah, really fast. It's so cute. How cute is that, you guys? That's adorable.
So it's a little spoon, and it's a stainless steel. And so, you just put the toothpaste in your mouth. You don't put the toothpaste on your brush like we've all done.
Yes.
It's a little change, but it works really well. And you clean the spoon and put it back on the little holder. And
So wait, you take the spoon, you put the toothpaste in your mouth, and then you brush?
yeah,
Okay.
how I do it.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
you know,
That's great.
instead of trying to get it on the toothbrush, you know. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe one day I'll have it manufactured in a tube, you know, like all
Yeah.
the other
No,
toothpaste.
but this is cool. I like the difference,
Thanks.
you know?
Yeah.
That's really cool. And then you've also done your own cleaning products as well.
Yeah.
And what's in those?
So it is essential oils, and I use a Castile base soap
Mm.
in there. And the kitchen one is peppermint oil.
Mhm.
Peppermint oil, I don't know if you know, kills ants and other mites and things like that. So it's really great in the kitchen, but it's safe, you
Mhm.
know, to use on your countertops. It's not going to like deteriorate your, you know, your finish on your countertops or anything like that. So it's very safe. And then the one for the bathroom is a combination of essential oils in there with the Castile base, and it's like eucalyptus and rosemary and lemon essential oil, and there's one other I can't remember right now, but it's a combo.
And it kills bacteria and everything.
Oh yeah, it's
Okay,
antifungal
that's
and
awesome.
antibacterial.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it smells really. Here, you
I'll
guys
smell it
the
later.
bathroom, just real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, it's nice.
Oh, clove.
It's really
That's
nice.
what the other one is.
No, it smells really good, you guys. It smells amazing. Yeah, thank you for letting me smell that.
So because you know all the cleaning products out there give me problems.
I can't wait to try it.
I mean,
It
even
sounds
that
amazing.
seventh generation, I can't tolerate it. I'm really,
Wow.
really sensitive. So, yeah, like, all right, you know, and other people buy them and they love them. And then I'll refill them for people that are local. And
That's great. I love all the love you put into everything you do. And through your own journey, through your own struggle, you're going to be helping so many people. So I hope you guys tuned in and really saw all this amazing products that she's making. They're earth friendly. They're good for you. Even if you swallow them, you're not going to die. And they taste great. And so it's like the whole thing. And it's like mind, body, spirit, soul. Like we need to nourish all of them. And I feel like you do that with everything you do.
I just want to talk about one more thing. I don't know if you can see, but this is the pizza pie.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the most popular cracker.
Mm.
Vegans out there, this tastes exactly like pizza without the torture. I'm telling
Wow.
you, it is really fantastic. And I use Cuban oregano from my garden in here. So it's a little
Wow.
secret recipe, but it really adds to that pop of the flavor. And there's non-fortified organic nutritional yeast in there, which is difficult to find, but you can buy it, organic, non-fortified, because the fortified nutritional yeast is a synthetic B vitamin
Mm-hmm.
that they put in there. So that's why I do the non-fortified. So, but yeah, it's
Amazing. So you have your chocolate cracker and the lemon cracker. So bring them all up here. So Julie, where can people find you, connect with you, and purchase from you?
Oh, thanks for asking. You can find me right at juliesway.com. That's JULISWAY.com. Julie's Way. There's no E in my first name, so remember that, no E, juliesway.com.
All right, Julie, it's been such a pleasure to talk to you. You guys, this woman's amazing. She has so many incredible products. If you're sensitive, if you need help feeling better and want to put more natural products all around you, whether it's outside your body, inside your body, this is incredible. She does everything with passion and love. And I am so excited to support you because you're onto amazing things and you're helping us live healthier lives. So thank you for all the amazing work you're doing and carving the way for us to do better in our own lives.
Thank you.
This has been such an honor to interview you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and you're so welcome. I really appreciate everything.
Thank you, Julie. I want to thank you today for joining us on the World Healing Tour podcast. Until next time, remember to practice these 3 elements. I know I always say them, and I just think it's the best way to live a really uplifting life. Number 1, every day remember to have a grateful heart and connect to your gratitude. When you're connected to your gratitude, you're connected to what's working in your life. You're not hyper-focused on what's not working, which so many of us focus on. Therefore, you will attract more positive people, things, and experiences into your life on a daily basis. And we all want more of that. Number 2, Remember every day to ground in love and compassion. First, love and compassion for yourself, because we all need more love and compassion. Then share that love and compassion with others. The more love and compassion you will put out in the world, the more love and compassion you will have in your life, because the world is round. Energy, as I say, moves in a round circle. So keep putting it out there and keep receiving an abundance of love and compassion in return. And number 3, know that you're not alone on this journey. None of us are alone. It's a guided journey. I say guided by God, whether it's God for your universe, higher power, your amazing creative person. Just tap into your own self. Shut off the noise of the outside world, because you're here to really rise. Don't compare. Don't compete with anybody else. Until next time, my friends, have a beautiful week. Namaste. The World Healing Tour Movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world.